By the end of this video, you will have the tools in order for you to be able to drag your ideal future into the now and have internal and external freedom, especially in real action in relationship with your business and your relationships, and your belief in your ability and a belief in the ability to get results in the long term. In this video, I will help you free your mind, I will help you overcome limiting beliefs, and help you find fulfillment in the pursuit of mastery. Discussing it through the lens of business, the neuroscience of flow, the psychology of sales, and creating goals and systems in which you can reiterate upon over time to make it easier on yourself so you can have efficiency and effectiveness, and eventually you will have something called Blisscipline, discipline with bliss, as coined by Vishen Lakhiani. This first section is called Be the One You Want to See in the World. That is from Mahatma Gandhi. What I am saying is you have to question what the rampant beliefs are amongst society, amongst the social structures. That is so you can actually go your own direction, the direction that is actually best for you, so you can preserve yourself and grow yourself and serve the world in which is best, and in which you can actually break free from social cohesion, in which it is very uncomfortable because of the judgment that is probably going to be cast upon you, saying that you don't have any respect for tradition. But the thing is, thinking for yourself is actually important for self-preservation and rising above and growing. In this next section, I'm going to be explaining about creating a vision, creating goals, creating systems and processes, and structuring your consciousness to be conducive with your goals. Since I'm talking about goals and visions and stuff like that, I'm also going to say that since I'm talking about business in the next section, I'm going to say that using your career and business should be a vessel for your purpose. Therefore, if you enjoy it and it's something that you have a mission towards and a strong why, you will be better at what you do because you like what you do and you have a strong why for what you do. There's this concept I learned from this YouTuber called Dan Koe. It is about framing your focus. Framing your focus means structuring your consciousness through the environment around you, whether it is through reading, experiential learning, or learning from other people, in order to have the best results and being able to imagine and capture the essence of reality before language models. So be careful what you consume, whether it is food or information of any type. I guess taste is information, but you have to realize the more that you learn, the less you actually think you know. There's a large landscape of things in which you cannot know, and there's a large landscape of things that is under your realm of awareness, unless you structure your consciousness in orientation towards a certain goal, and then you will filter the right information that is congruent with that. But you also have to have the skill of prioritizing information and knowing between low quality information and high quality information. Like after you have the actions and your vision, you're also going to have to test and reiterate your actions upon the outer world. Like in this book called The Lean Startup by Eric Ries, shows that when you're in business, you're going to have to bring your product out into the world and test the behaviors of the people, in which the computer has a software in which you can know the click-through rate, you can know where they clicked, you can know the conversion rate, meaning how many of them actually buy the product, and you can test that with that understanding and reiterate, meaning adjust accordance to that. But just because you're testing and reiterating and understanding what is going on with that, you're also going to have to plan the day before so you can get into something called flow state. Flow state is your optimum ability to bring your inputs into your work. And if you're able to do that, you are going to do your best work. You're going to have to be able to adjust to the complexity of the work over time and have mastery. I learned this from a guy named Rian Doris, whom is working for a company called the Flow Research Collective with a popular flow researcher called Mihai Csikszentmihalyi or something like that. I don't remember his exact name. I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah. Of course, at the start, you're going to have some stress and squeamishness, but if you push past that point, you're going to be able to tap into flow state after you get over this difficulty, because flow state requires the challenge skills balance. Now I shall bring forth what systems and processes are. Systems and processes are ways to optimize the effectiveness of your actions and your inputs, and the ways you set goals, the ways you schedule and plan, and be able to map out how you are going to express your actions into the outer world in relationship to what you are doing. What I often do is literally just brainstorm what I am to do in a week and what things I shall learn and then implement. And then when I have all that down and the things that I've learned before, then I can prioritize information in each subject, whether it be business, relationships, health, and make sure that I make it clear exactly what I am to do and when to do it. And I am also going to create processes of what to do each day, so I do not have to think my brain to death and try to wing it throughout the week. But what I also have to do is try to mitigate disruptions and distractions, because sometimes I am not the best at that. Whether it be sounds, random sounds happening, or even if I wake up at 4 a.m., I still always get something happening. I don't know. Busy. Okay, on to the next section. Business and financial lessons that I've learned from books and things that I've been listening to, and what I am to implement also, of giving actual value to people, using my business as a vessel for my purpose, and being able to manifest my internal world and external world in a way that is conducive with my purpose. Success in business is not working hard for working hard's sake, rather finding the causes that lead to the effect. I do not know where that quote came from, but you can always look it up. Remember, this is boring advice, but you also have to think long term. Do not just do it so you can make money. Also do it as a vessel of mastery also. Mastery in skills of talking, which I am trying to do, in which I am not great right now at that. And mastery in editing, mastery in writing, mastery in being able to research and network with people, and mastery in many different areas in which you can actually understand the landscape in the game you are playing. The role of formal education and knowing how you are to serve the world. Education is not the sole path to success. Well, formal education anyways. unless you are going for a high-end job or something to do with doctors or lawyers. But other than that, if you want to pursue business, formal education is not needed. Just like MJ DeMarco would say in the book A Millionaire Fastlane, many people who get an MBA often do not even get a high-end job. Rather, they would just get into a job they would get into from high school anyways. And instead, you're going to have to identify your strengths, identify what things you are good at in relation to what your passion is, but it also has to overlap with a need in the world, something that you can get paid for, something you are good at, and many other things like that. But you're also going to have high income skills in which you can utilize and serve other people and businesses and find issues and gaps in the market. You're going to have to identify your niche. Your niche is kind of like the subject in which you are using business as, like health, relationships, there's careers, and even business, a business about business. There's music, there's pretty much a lot of subjects in which you can use in order to express value into the outer world. But some niches are more better off because there's more demand and more needs in relation to it. But identifying the market you are going for will help you research and narrow your research to the people that you are serving and understand their needs, their wants, and understand what it is like and what issues they face with other companies in which they are interacting with. And once you do that, you're all set, and then you can create your business plan, which should be one page and very simple. But if you're doing a legal process, I do not know what that is like, so I'm thinking of doing that later on. But yes, once you got that down, know which leverage you're going to use in the moment and which you are going to have later on. Leverage is ways you can accelerate your efforts and growth later on. And these three are people, media, and finance. Eventually, you're going to have to outsource technology and people in order to leverage and accelerate growth. Richard Branson had good advice when it came to hiring people. He said that you're going to have to hire people smarter than you. When you hire them, you're going to have to create a good culture by making their work meaningful and feel like it is their mission. When you are starting a business, you're going to have to go through cycles of build, measure, and learn so you can actually be able to reiterate and change as quick as possible. Like when you have a product and you want to test it out with the people, you're going to test their actions, not just their words, because their words doesn't matter as much as their actions. And once you actually see how they interact with your product, how they interact with your service, and see if they would actually buy it, you're going to have some data points and know where to reiterate. And whilst you're also doing business and when you're starting to make money and a whole bunch of other things, you're also going to have an overview of what is happening in economic and debt cycles. The book, The Changing World Order, is a very important book for understanding that what leads to what, the cause and effect when it comes to education, the quality of education, understanding what is going on with the trade of things and what is happening with inflation. It is very important to have an overview of this. If you are stuck with your own tasks and what is in front of you, you will not be able to anticipate challenges in the future and things that will arise as issues. If you understand third order and second order consequences, you're going to be more informed and be able to take actions that will not or be less likely to have damage towards your business. But in order to be successful as an entrepreneur, you're going to have to play all these 3 roles, which is from this book called The E-Myth Revisited on this app I like to use called Shortform. It is not a sponsor, I'm just saying. One role is the technician, which is your day-to-day tasks. Number 2 is the manager, being able to reiterate upon to make yourself more effective. And the entrepreneur, whom is the goal setter and the visionary. If you're only stuck on the day-to-day tasks, you're probably going to be spinning your wheels often and not know where you are going. But if you are also in the manager position, you can have an overview of what is inefficient, what is causing this. A lot of times, some people have journaling techniques at the end of the day in order to be able to understand and have an overview of why they are not getting the results. As Dan Koh says, when it comes to entrepreneur, it is very important to project your consciousness into the future and know what you actually want out of your business and actually have control of your business, as MJ DeMarco in The Millionaire Fastlane says. So if you do not have control of your business, if you actually look for investors, you're going to have to be pleasing your investors, and that is not always a pretty scene because you're going to have to sacrifice your customer experience for the investors' interests. Okay guys, live your dream and wish you health and happiness. If you find this content valuable, I am a new creator and in which I try to bring the best value that I can. You can subscribe and hit the like button.